Tonight, you'll probably fall asleep in under 20 minutes. Lights off, door locked, blanket up, total surrender. Ancient human never got to do that. Not once, not ever, not in their entire lives. Every single night for hundreds of thousands of years, sleep was the most dangerous thing a human being could do. Because the moment your eyes closed, you became the easiest meal in the entire forest. So how did our ancestors survive something we do completely unconsciously, every single night for millions of nights in a row? Think about what sleep actually requires. Your muscles go weak. Your awareness of sound and smell drops dramatically, and you're completely blind to anything happening around you for 6 to 8 hours straight. For most of human history, that same window of time was also peak hunting hours for large predators like cave lions, hyenas, and wolves. Researchers studying the sleep patterns of remaining hunter-gatherer societies today, used as a window into how ancient humans likely lived, have found that these groups sleep noticeably less and in shorter, more broken segments than people in industrialized societies. Some studies suggest total nightly sleep time around 6 to 6.5 hours on average, often split into 2 or more segments rather than one continuous block. The single biggest game changer in human sleep history was fire. Evidence of controlled fire use goes back at least 400,000 years, and its effect on sleep safety was massive. Most large predators have an instinctive avoidance of open flame, so a burning fire at the entrance of a cave or camp created an actual physical barrier between a sleeping group and the dangers outside. Fire also extended usable hours into the night, allowing groups to stay semi-alert and social even after dark, rather than sitting in complete blind darkness. In many ways, fire wasn't just for warmth or cooking. It was humanity's first home security system, one that worked every single night for hundreds of thousands of years. Ancient humans didn't all sleep at the same time. Anthropological studies of hunter-gatherer groups show a pattern researchers call segmented or watchman sleep, where at least one member of the group remains awake or lightly alert at almost any given time throughout the night, with individuals naturally rotating through wakeful periods based on their own internal body clocks. Interestingly, this rotation appears to happen almost automatically. Different people have naturally different peak alertness times, meaning a group sleeping together would organically produce near constant partial coverage without anyone needing to set a formal schedule. It's a biological security system built directly into human sleep diversity. Even sleep itself was different. Ancient humans likely spent more time in lighter stages of sleep, where the brain remains more responsive to sudden sounds or smells, and less time in the deepest, most vulnerable stages compared to modern humans. Sleeping in a group also meant multiple sets of ears and noses were passively on duty at once, dramatically increasing the odds that a predator's approach would be noticed by someone before it became a threat. This is likely part of why humans, unlike many other primates, tend to sleep in close physical groups rather than isolated individually. Safety in numbers wasn't just a saying. It was a literal survival strategy, played out every single night. Here's what's genuinely surprising. This ancient vulnerability may still be wired into your brain today. Researchers have identified something called the first night effect, where one half of the brain stays measurably more alert than the other during sleep in an unfamiliar environment. Almost like one hemisphere is still standing guard, exactly the way it would have needed to thousands of generations ago. In other words, when you feel a little uneasy sleeping in a new hotel room or an unfamiliar house, that's not random anxiety. It might be a direct echo of the exact survival system your ancestors relied on every single night just to make it to morning. So, tonight, when you fall completely asleep without a second thought, remember, That total unguarded surrender is a modern luxury. For nearly all of human history, sleep itself was a nightly gamble, survived only through fire, group rotation, and a brain that never fully let its guard down. If this made you see your own bedtime differently, subscribe. There's a lot more about the hidden survival instincts still running inside you, coming next. Ancient civilization behind countless mysteries, and we've only scratched the surface. What question do you want answered next? Leave it in the comments and it might inspire the next episode.